Hello, cookbook friends from the Cookbook Divas podcast. My name is Carrie, and I'm here with my co-host Katie, and we're excited to bring you our picks for cookbooks that are coming out brand new in the third week of May 2021.
Yay!
We're going to start with our favorite topic, cocktail cookbooks.
Yep.
I'm super excited about the first one because we are wine bloggers too. This is Modern Home Winemaking, a guide to making consistently great wines by Daniel Pambianchi. I don't personally want to make wine at home, but that's because I live an 8-minute drive from 134 wineries here in Woodinville, Washington.
Right, yeah.
But I do have a lot of friends that are interested in making their own wine. And this book helps you use modern techniques and the latest products to get you from crush to bottle. And the author says that making wine is not only about fermenting juice into wine. It's not that easy. There's many other processes involved in making outstanding wine. So if you're interested in becoming an amateur winemaker, grab Modern Home Winemaking, a guide to making consistently great wines by Daniel Pambianchi. If you're interested in making not amateur home winemaking, but for reals, then you need to take some classes at UC Davis, etc.
Yeah.
Katie, what kind of alcoholic book is on your list?
Well, mine is Gotham City Cocktails, official handcrafted food and drinks from the world of Batman.
Oh, yay! Nerd alert! I love it.
I know! It comes out May 18th. It's by Andre Darlington. So Father's Day's coming soon as well. I know this is May as Mother's Day month. I'm not taking that away, but just to prepare. Also, I'm not a mom either, but hey, I love Batman, so this could work for moms too. So if you're really into Batman, all of this, these are really cute. So I'm just gonna read off some of these drink cocktail recipes because they're just really cute. So we have the Dark Nightcap for one. We have Full Deck. We've got Batarang Brownies. We need those all the time.
Wait, you can pair brownies with cocktails? I like this idea.
I agree. Yes, you can. I'm trying to find if they actually have a number for how many actual recipes there are, but everything comes with a full color photo along next to it, which is one of my and Carrie's favorite things is we love photos for our cookbooks. This is just a really fun cookbook if you're really into Batman. It's also it's actually quite sophisticated too. Like the Dark Nightcap it's got blended scotch in it, club soda, Averna. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with my scotch recipes. We've got bitters and lemon peel. It almost this kind of sounds like a old fashioned, but a little, right? Am I wrong? It sounds like a kind of a twist of an old fashioned to me.
It does. It sounds delicious.
It does. It sounds super good. So there's actually, I found a number. They have more than 70 recipes in this cocktail book. Super cool. And it's got normal recipes too. Sorry. Anyway, so if you're into that kind of thing, it's called Gotham City Cocktails, official handcrafted food and drinks from the world of Batman. And go ahead.
Oh, it would be fun, and we should do this. Host an outdoor movie viewing party and show old Batman movies, the TV show from back in the day, and use the cookbook to make cocktails and appetizers.
That would be really fun. Yeah, I agree. Even if you could probably make these non-alcoholic cocktails too if you wanted to for some of these, because there's a whole plethora of drinks in here if you wanted to do kind of Saturday morning cartoons with Batman and do something with the kids. Like the Batarang Brownies are really cute. So I mean, yeah, there's you can do all kinds of cool stuff with this cookbook for sure.
We'll have to think about it in August, which is the only month where it's warm enough to watch movies in the dark outside in the backyard.
I know, and not raining, at risk of rain.
Because if you play the movie too soon, it's too bright and it doesn't really show up on your projector.
Exactly.
It's hard.
I know. I totally agree. I want to do this. We have to. It sounds awesome. So if we're still on the potential gifting and summer-oriented cookbooks, we're transitioning into grilling cookbooks, and the first one I want to talk about is called Meat, the Ultimate Cookbook. It comes out May 18th. It's by Keith Saracen. They have 300 recipes that are all grilling, like with your skillet, a Dutch oven, a normal grill. You've got normal oven. It's all encompassing meat. So if you love meat, this cookbook is perfect for you. Not for Carrie, but for...
I will never read it. That's a promise I can keep.
It has over 800 pages of text. So this is for your meat connoisseur in your family.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, it is. They even talk about to TMI for Carrie a little bit. They've got butchering techniques, not for a real. It's all real. Sorry, it's you know what I mean. Not a live animal butchering technique, but you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they go through a lot of technical skills in this book. The recipes are fairly simple, actually, but they look really good. And they're worldly too. So one of the recipes that I immediately was drawn to is a chicken vindaloo. But then they also have like a recipe that's like a ribeye with salsa verde. So that sounds really good with mushrooms. Yum. And then a more traditional, like a lamb with rosemary, with a mustard marinade. So they have like a variety of recipes from all around the world that you can explore with this cookbook, especially if you're really into meat and want to learn how to grill and all the awesome things. So again, that is called Meat, the Ultimate Cookbook.
Well, I prefer the next cookbook on my list, which is called Root, Small Vegetable Plates, A Little Meat on the Side, by Rob Howell. It comes out May 18, and they focus on sustainability and vegetable small plates. I love small plates. It's why I like tapas restaurants and Mediterranean mezza, because that way you get to taste lots of little things. You don't get too full unless you order too many, which I always do.
Yep.
There are a few meat and fish recipes too, and I can tell he's from the UK because he was the chef of a Bristol waterfront restaurant, because the recipes are things like buttermilk fried celeriac, which I assume is celery, Welsh rarebit toasts, cauliflower bhajis with cashew butter and pickled orange. Ooh, I never thought of pickling an orange. Tempura spring onions with sweet chili sauce and peanut crumb. And then, apparently, he likes to cook some German food because there's a chicken schnitzel with sauerkraut. And I don't know what spiced monkfish tail is. And one of these recipes is something I probably would not have thought of trying. Donuts with carrot jam.
Whoa! Carrot jam. I mean, it makes sense, though.
Yeah, because carrots add sweetness to things like soup. So, okay.
Yeah.
And I'm peeking through. The pictures look nice enough. Decent. Maybe. Yeah, okay. Mentioning a whole bunch of, definitely seasonal eating, snacks, types of vegetables you might want to think about using. This looks interesting. Yeah, I'm going to check it out for sure. That's Root, Small Vegetable Plates, A Little Meat on the Side by Rob Howell.
The last barbecue grilling book we have for this week is called Foolproof Barbecue, 60 Simple Recipes to Make the Most of Your Barbecue. Comes out May 18th, and it's by Genevieve Taylor. This cookbook has, let me see, it's 60 awesome recipes. As summer, especially, once May actually starts, I'm so excited for summer, specifically for barbecuing and getting together. So it's 60 awesome recipes. It talks about how to grill properly, using utilizing your barbecue to the fullest extent of whatever grilling. The pictures in here are really bright and beautiful, and they cover, it's not just, so every time I think of barbecue, I'm always thinking dinner foods. Or it's always dinner or like late lunch or something. But they even they have recipes for breakfast in here, which is cool. They have a cinnamon plums and yogurt pancake recipe in here.
Ooh.
There's so many things about just this one recipe that is so new for me, like plums and cinnamon and pancakes. I have not seen together, I don't think, in a recipe. That sounds super good.
Hey, did you know I have 3 plum trees in my backyard?
No, I'm going to be over there right now. Just
by
podcast. I love plums.
Stare at them, but we won't have any plums till late August.
Oh, that sounds so good. So the table of contents, I do like how they've divided this up into, so they have the first chapter's chicken, we've got a pork chapter, then beef, lamb, fish and seafood, and then we have a vegetable. It's actually quite a lengthy vegetable chapter in here. And then a something sweet chapter in here, which is really nice. It just makes it easier, because usually when you're thinking about grilling, you're always like, oh, I'm going to buy a chicken, and then you kind of, at least this is how I do it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy a bunch of wings, and then I come up with a wing recipe after that, or like, oh, I want pork, and then I'll come up with something later, versus vice versa, where I'm like, oh, I've got this, I'm thinking of maybe doing, I don't know, a random meat. So I like how they've divided this up personally. Yeah, I love this. This is a really cool cookbook. I think this is probably, if you wanted a barbecue cookbook, this is definitely the one that you should get, especially since it's going to be right before Memorial Day weekend as well. Like, yeah, and Mother's Day and Father's Day. So many holidays coming up. Wow.
I'm just picturing 30 million barbecues lighting up on Memorial Day Friday night. Like,
I know.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
It's good. Yeah. We've been locked up for so long. Let us free. Anyway, yes. Check this cookbook out. It's called Foolproof Barbecue: 60 Simple Recipes to Make the Most of Your Barbecue by Genevieve Taylor.
Next up, I'm going to move into some historical cooking. I love food history books. Cabbage and Caviar: A History of Food in Russia. Comes out May 19. It's by Allison K. Smith. And the publisher writes that when people think of Russian food, they generally think either of the opulent luxury of the Tsarist aristocracy or of the post-Soviet elites, signified by caviar. Or we think, on the other hand, of poverty and hunger, cabbage and potatoes and porridge and people standing in bread lines, etc. And both of these visions do have a basis in reality, but both are incomplete. She writes that the history of food and drink in Russia includes fasts and feasts, scarcity, and for some at least abundance. There's dishes that came out of the northern forested regions, and one that incorporate foods from the wider Russian Empire and later from the Soviet Union. Cabbage and Caviar will cover Russian food and drink in the context of Russian history. And I love Russian food. I've taken 2 or 3 Russian cooking classes. It always involves mayonnaise and beets, to be honest. So I'm very intrigued, and because this isn't just a cookbook, it's a history, I'm definitely going to grab Cabbage and Caviar: A History of Food in Russia by Allison K. Smith.
The next book I wanted to talk about, this is actually a Kindle release, but it's the Alice B. Toklas cookbook. So she was an American-born member of the Parisian avant-garde of the early 20th century and the life partner of the American writer Gertrude Stein. And, it might not seem like this is a cookbook at all, but it is. So she created all these recipes. A lot of them are French, and side by side it shares all of these reminiscing stories of her life and like her friends' lives and like how they've paved the way for, especially for women's rights, and just like, it's just kind of a cool combination of things. There's no photos. It's quite an old book. This is a revisit of her original cookbook. She's actually done 2 cookbooks in her lifetime. She writes some like memoirs. It's like a cookbook memoir. It's really interesting. So it's more illustrative when you're looking through it, but she kind of gives you a glimpse of like French tradition, especially back in the day. That would be really interesting to see. We've got what the, food in France back in the day, like what they actually served. She's a bit of an artist and had artist friends. So one of her chapters is dishes for artists, which is funny. Murder in the kitchen. I'm curious what that means. Beautiful soup is another chapter. So yeah, there's just a lot of interesting stories and recipes in here. I'm gonna see if I can try to find. I don't think they actually give you some recipes. I do know there was a few recipes that were what's the word? They were taken out of the American edition because it involved hashish. Sorry. So they took it out but re-added it. Oh, here we go. We've got like a bourguignon, a beef stew recipe, a traditional one from back in the day. Sorry, my French is bad, as all of you probably know by now. Carrie, what is a quenelle? A shortcut? I'm not sure what this is. It looks like. No. This looks interesting. So there's a lot of interesting kind of older recipes. We got foie gras, a salmon sauce hollandaise, Singapore ice cream. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, so there's a lot of cool things in this book, and you get to learn more about her life and the world back in the day. So that's the Alice B. Toklas cookbook. It is on Kindle for $11.99, so I definitely pick it up as compared to the hardcover that's $52.
Yeah, good choice.
Yes. All right. Moving on.
So who here loves bread? Raise your hand. And the bread book is coming out May 19. We all have enough bread and baking books, but this one is from Dover Publications, and they're really good at putting together awesome books. And this bread book includes over 500 recipes.
Oh my goodness.
So if you were going to have one tome sitting on your shelf helping you learn how to make things like baking powder biscuits, plain and sweetbreads, buns, muffins, gingerbread, popovers, scones, etc., this would be the one, because you've all got it in one place. I don't have a sneak preview of it, but the fact that it's from Dover Publications, I feel pretty good about it, because they do such a good job. And on the cover, they're just showing a whole bunch of different baguettes, and I see a rye bread, and now I'm really hungry for rye bread. So that's The Bread Book by Louis P. DeGoy, and it comes out May 19th.
Awesome. I have one baking book myself. It is the Alternative Flour Cookbook, 100 plus almond, oat, spelt, and chickpea flour vegan recipes you'll love. It's the 3rd volume. It is from The Place Kitchen. It is Kim Lutz. It is coming out May 18. Wow. So this is something, as everybody knows, I'm gluten-free. So learning about all these different flours is really fascinating, not only for their flavor profiles, but there's different textures, there's different sticky consistencies, there's all kinds of things that you need to understand for all of these flours. So I like that this cookbook specifically dives into exactly that, like what each flour is like and what it does and what it's best with, and flavors, all of that. It's so cool. And also a lot of these alternative flours are healthier than bleach rich wheat flour. It just is. So it'd be nice to learn how to, if you're not necessarily gluten-free, but if you just want to learn how to eat healthier, but you don't want to necessarily give up bread, which who does, you can learn how to eat healthier by using different kinds of flour that are nutrient rich. So there's a few really awesome, not just a few, there's a whole bunch of amazing recipes in here. Let's see. Let me give you a few examples as I'm looking through. Scones. I love scones. So they have recipes for a strawberry and a chocolate chip scone. They go through different it's not just baking, it looks like. So she has sheet pan fajitas in here. I'm trying to see where the flour is incorporated.
I am so into sheet pans right now because it's just so easy to make a mess on one pan and then clean one pan and call it good.
Oh God, I understand that for real. Baked penne is in here. We even have barbecue sandwiches in here, so you can actually learn how to make your own sandwich rolls for those kinds of things. With the kinds of flour, apple pie. Using, let's see, what kind of flour are they using in this one? You can use, so she has a list for like a coconut oil spelt pie crust, or you can oat flour pie crust. So I like that she's giving you a lot of options, and so like some people might not be able to do some flours like almond flour versus spelt. So I really like this cookbook. I think it's really awesome. So that is the alternative flour cookbook, 100 plus almond, oat, spelt, and chickpea flour vegan recipes you'll love.
My next cookbook is one of my favorite types of cookbooks. It's The Crafted Cookie, A Beginner's Guide to Baking and Decorating Cookies for Every Occasion by Anne Yorks. It's a really good beginner cookbook for people just starting to decorate cookies. If you're experienced, probably I would pass on this one because you don't need step-by-step, pictures of how to do it and how to do the piping and flooding and all those beginner tips, but people like me definitely need it. The book presents cookie designs arranged onto themed platters, which I love that idea, and I would love to have a cookie platter at my parties that I throw. We're all doing, grazing boards and charcuterie boards and cheese and cracker boards, but are we doing a cookie board? No, and I think we should be.
I agree.
Anyway, yeah. So the
good.
author is Anne Yorks, and for example, some of the platters that she shows in the book are a rainbow birthday featuring a colorful rainbow cake with candles cookie. She does a Christmas one, of course, with classic Christmas faces that have a jolly Santa, an elf, and a red-nosed reindeer, because Christmas is not complete without Rudolph.
Right, yes.
A give thanks cookie platter with a stunning lettered give thanks wreath cookie that sounds like a lot of work. A twinkle twinkle little star baby shower with a cute Sweet Dreams footy pajama cookie. And a farmhouse Easter cookie platter, including a sweet farm fresh Easter eggs barn cookie. I love barn cookies. They're so cute. So we don't have a sneak preview of the inside of the book, so I don't know what to tell you about the photography. We'll just have to find out later. That's The Crafted Cookie, A Beginner's Guide to Baking and Decorating Cookies for Every Occasion by Anne Yorks.
I love those cookbooks, personally. I love cookies. I need to expand on my cookie thing. And one thing I love with cookies is ice cream. And that's what I'm going to talk about, is ice cream.
Wow,
vegan
sugar
ice
bomb.
cream. I know!
Have a little sugar with your sugar.
I love it. Oh, God. Okay, so the cookbook I'm talking about is Super Vegan Scoops. Plant-based ice cream for everyone. It comes out May 18. It's by Hannah Kaminsky. And wow. So I actually opted out of a salted caramel delicious thing my mom had, and I decided to go with the coconut bliss ice cream because I was like, okay, I'm trying to go vegan and I'll try their ice cream. I haven't tried any of the ice cream yet, and it was so good. I actually preferred it over the actual ice cream. I was very surprised because I love dairy. So learning how to make it would just be amazing because, as I'm sure if you're vegan, or vegetarian, eat too, like alternative options are way more expensive than the quote unquote original options. And that includes the ice cream. So with this cookbook, we learn all about all kinds of really awesome treats. So I want to read off some of the recipes you'll be learning how to make with this. And they're okay. So baklava sundaes, which sounds awesome. Cookie dough pudding pops. This one sounds interesting. This would be really refreshing for summertime. A cucumber raita frozen yogurt.
I would actually eat that. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds really interesting.
And refreshing, like on an 85-degree day. Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh man, that'd be super good. A rum raisin bread pudding. Oh goodness, that sounds so good. I'm drooling a little bit. Anyway, so the author, Hannah Kaminsky, she actually has a blog called Bittersweet Blog, where she kind of goes through all of the, she's got an amazing different vegan recipes on here and vegan treats. So she's somebody you should definitely listen to when it comes to awesome vegan treats. So I think she does go through like how to, it's like a no churning option. I'm not really so with ice cream you have to churn it, and with this it's a little different, and how you actually prepare vegan ice cream. So it'd just be interesting to see what the difference is. It also obviously if it's vegan, it doesn't include eggs, so that's kind of a difficult thing to do as well. But the reassuring thing that she says is that you won't be able to taste the difference between one of her vegan scoops versus, like if you went to 31 Flavors. So if you're really interested in if you're really interested in learning how to make your own vegan ice cream, this is something you should definitely check out. It's really awesome, super beautiful book. Again, that is Super Vegan Scoops, Plant-Based Ice Cream for Everyone by Hannah Kaminsky.
And next up is another vegan book, Make It Vegan, From Quick and Easy to Deep Fried and Delicious by Ashley Hankins. I have a weakness for deep fried foods. Donuts are about the only dessert I really go out of my way to get. I'm not really a dessert person, but I'll eat it. And I like cake and cookies, but I really like salty fried foods. In fact, last night I went to a restaurant here in town and had fried pickles. Then I wondered, why can't I have just an entire bowl of fried pickles for dinner? Well, that would make you have a stomachache. But I'm very excited about this cookbook because some of it is deep fried. Yum! And quick and easy. She helps you figure out creative meat, egg, and dairy substitutes, but you don't have to sacrifice on flavors and textures. And some of the recipes include a Monte Cristo French toast, but vegan, which is awesome because I've never had a Monte Cristo. Nachos al pastor, a barbecue chicken, and I'm saying chicken in quotes, air quotes, barbecue chicken salad, a hearty hamburger soup, but vegan, meatball banh mi, pesto linguine with seared quote scallops, a beefy skillet cobbler, and chili verde enchiladas, and now I'm hungry for enchiladas.
Oh, I know, me too.
So that is Make It Vegan, From Quick and Easy to Deep Fried and Delicious by Ashley Hankins.
That sounds so good. My next cookbook is The Perennial Kitchen, Simple Recipes for a Healthy Future by Beth Dooley. Comes out May 18th. She is a James Beard award-winning author, so she definitely knows her stuff. So one of her things is she's trying to create I'm not sure how she's able to do more than farm to table cookbook, but that's what her goal is. So that means like seasonal cooking, learning, redefining, or at least expanding on what it means to eat locally, kind of learning how to grow your own food and what the farming methods actually are. It is a bit, it seems like it goes into a lot of detail over like how we process our foods, like agricultural methods, how that it's actually can be harmful not only for the environment but also just like how we like what we eat too, because like if you think about it, all the preservatives and stuff, because we're harvesting so much and then we have to preserve all of it. So she kind of goes over a lot of that, and it's very in depth, but there are recipes in here. Unfortunately, there's no pictures provided, which after what Carrie's cookbook, I'm actually grateful for because I'm already drooling too much. But there are 216 pages in here. It's not it's a hefty book, but it is a lot of mixing with the environmental practices and recipes together. Let's see. There are So she also talks about like clean cooking. So, which means demystifying labels and offers sensible recipes and makes it more simple, which I appreciate because a lot of people think clean eating overcomplicate what that means.
Well, yeah, and I don't have time to stand in the... I mean, I stand in the store reading labels, but I read quickly, and I'm not analyzing, and I buy a lot of the same things.
Exactly.
But it is hard. You don't want to be spending all day long reading labels. Like, I gotta go.
Exactly. Yeah. So in a lot of the stories, so the recipes will have stories alongside that kind of showcase a lot of the what she means about clean eating, or what she means about, you know, how to eat locally. So I kind of like that, the picture to story comparison side by side, so you can kind of get a sense of what she's trying to get at. She has a call to action for cooks who are interested in the future of food, which I appreciate, because this is kind of the future of food in my opinion. You know, we're noticing a lot of the issues with, you know, how we've been preserving and dealing with food, and kind of tone it down and kind of come back and start to eat simply and more farm to table. So this is going to be a really informational and awesome cookbook if you're into that kind of thing. Again, that is The Perennial Kitchen, Simple Recipes for a Healthy Future by Beth Dooley. And I think we only have 2 more cookbooks left.
The next cookbook is called Messy in the Kitchen, My Guide to Eating Deliciously, Hosting Fabulously, and Sipping Copiously by Renee Paquette. And I feel like she's my soulmate that I haven't met yet, but in a friendly way. I feel like we could be BFFs if we ever met, because I love eating deliciously, hosting fabulously, and sipping copiously, which I do every day.
It is perfect for you.
Apparently
and messy in the kitchen, too. Sorry.
Oh, thank you for pointing that out. I wasn't going to, but you're right.
I love you. It's fine.
I have to own it. I like trashing my kitchen. And that's the rule around here, is whoever cooks doesn't have to clean up. The other person has to clean. So I do all the cooking, and my boyfriend's always cleaning up.
Yeah.
So apparently, Renee Paquette is a television personality, but I don't know what her show is or where she is. So I'm going to look that up because she seems fun. This cookbook is intended for quirky home cooks, not just messy people like me. And it's for those of us that want to impress friends and family with a fancy meal and delicious cocktails at the same time. And I know that a lot of people just enjoy the, you know, casually have your friends over and just make a nice, comforting home-cooked dinner. But once in a while, you want to have it fancy, especially if your friends have done you the ultimate kindness of getting a babysitter and leaving the kids at home. And I love children. But sometimes at a dinner party, I'd like to elevate it a little bit. So I'm looking forward to diving into this cookbook. There's 60 feel-good, feel-fancy meals with appetizers, sides, salads, soups, and cocktails, and playlists of suggested music to accompany them. Well, I should probably not just play 80s music every time I have a party. Let's branch out. Fine. That's fine.
I appreciate it.
There's a chapter called Sandos, which I think she means sandwiches. I don't really like quirky abbreviations. That's kind of silly. I'm snooping through. There's a recipe called Eggs in Snow. There's a picture of her wearing a Stevie Nicks shirt, holding an adorable dog that looks like my neighbor's dog, Lucky, who's no longer with us, and now I'm crying. A seafood squid ink pasta would be something elevated to serve. Oh, here's a recipe for a blackberry sage smash, and I could easily make those because I would forage for blackberries in the yard this summer. And it has gin and lime juice and soda water and a sage leaf. That sounds delicious. And I like when they call drinks smash, because then I can get smashed. And no, I'm just kidding. Drink responsibly. One of her creations is a French onion soup grilled cheese. That sounds pretty dang good and salty. So I'm looking forward to checking this out. It's Messy in the Kitchen, My Guide to Eating Deliciously, Hosting Fabulously, and Sipping Copiously by Renee Paquette.
And the last cookbook on our list for the 3rd week of March is Vietnamese, Simple Vietnamese Food to Cook at Home. It comes out May 18th. It's by U Yen Liu. Wow. So the cover, I've been waiting to like look at this cookbook for a while because it's got a really cute like pastel pink cover. The art, it's mostly just pastel in general. I'm imagining it looks brown. Brown sounds ugly, but it's not an ugly brown. I'm imagining it to be almost like a copper, shiny text, and just it's cute. It's got a cute bowl of soup. It's just a really cute book. I've been looking forward to this for a while. So this cookbook has 80 recipes, 85 recipes that are traditional Vietnamese cooking. She tries to simplify it so that it's, you know, more approachable for us. I know I've actually struggled cooking Vietnamese food. I don't know why. I struggle with pho so much.
I have too, and I was confused, like, does it all have to have fish sauce? Because I'm vegetarian. Like, can I have a vegetarian fish sauce? I know it won't be authentic, but...
Yeah, exactly. So, well, in this, it literally says all you need is good fish sauce and a little enthusiasm. So apparently,
well, I have enthusiasm.
Exactly. So I really like it. Actually gives a lot of the dishes a bit of a modern twist as well. So some of the recipes in here are things like, this one sounds really good. Omelet with carrot, cabbage, and Chinese sausage. I actually would be fine with doing an omelet with carrot and cabbage and maybe like even some mushrooms to make it vegetarian. We've got a tofu, she calls it tofu pillows, tomatoes, and broccoli. It's in fish sauce, but you could probably eliminate the fish sauce.
I'll just eliminate the flavor and eat the veggies because they're good for me. I admit it.
Yum! She's got a recipe in here for a chicken salad with sugar snap peas, Vietnamese coriander, and shallots, which, oh man. So all the photos in here are really vibrant. It's like really clean looking. Everything just pops off of the page. It's just really beautiful. Even like, so in here, one of the photos for like spring rolls, the dipping sauce, she even has like little slices of carrots that they look like they're little flowers in the bowl, and it's really cute and pretty. It's just a really elegant cookbook. I super appreciate it. So yeah, and making all of this stuff at home is super appealing to me. I would love to do that. I love the table of contents as well. We've got, she has a chapter for sharing vegetables. She also has a separate chapter for proper salads, Vietnamese style. Feasting is another chapter. Heavenly noodle soups. Quick midweek meals. Sweet things. And basics is last. And then the first chapter is to eat with rice. So there, it's a really cute, simple, adorable cookbook with a lot of awesome recipes and great photos. I definitely would check this out. So again, that is Vietnamese, Simple Vietnamese Food to Cook at Home by Yuen Liu. And that is the end of our newly released cookbook list for the third week of March. Thank you guys so much for listening to our Cookbook Divas podcast. Make sure to tune in every Tuesday and Friday for new episodes if you want to learn about new or interesting cookbook releases. Check out our blog at cookbookdivas.com. You can also find us at Pinterest, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at Cookbook Divas. For more interesting reads, events, and discussions, check out our Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram for all of those things. Are there
and our website.
And our website, everything.
We're all over the place.
Right.
But not Twitter. I can't tweet about cookbooks. I have no time.
Yes, exactly. So thank you again, and we will see you next time.